I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great day. They have not been fed before at 2 a.m. They have not been fed before at 2 a.m. This time tomorrow I will be studying for my exam. This time tomorrow I will be studying for my exam. Despite the difficulties, we are still determined to succeed. Despite the difficulties, we are still determined to succeed. Her husband is a shop assistant. Her husband is a shop assistant. I ate some cheese with my crackers. I ate some cheese with my crackers. Shouldn't I wake up at sunset? Shouldn't I wake up at sunset? Did he remove it? Did he remove it? I will keep trying until I succeed. I will keep trying until I succeed. Can become a journeyman immediately. Can become a journeyman immediately. The relationship between my father and me is complicated. The relationship between my father and me is complicated. Then he may not be a linguist. Then he may not be a linguist. Which is your favorite aquarium? Which is your favorite aquarium? Can I get you? Can I get you? They can't fill up sooner. They can't fill up sooner. You won't catch it every year. You won't catch it every year. Beneath the surface, there were some underlying issues. Beneath the surface, there were some underlying issues. We could cause 2 nights ago. We could cause 2 nights ago. Are we daily servants? Are we daily servants? Were your grandchildren managers? Were your grandchildren managers? Is your friend an optician? Is your friend an optician? Our goal is to make your visit as pleasant as possible. Our goal is to make your visit as pleasant as possible. I'm looking for a place to rent a bike. Do you know where I can do this on campus? I'm looking for a place to rent a bike. Do you know where I can do this on campus? Shouldn't they cry? Shouldn't they cry? Please give me time. Let me check. Please give me time. Let me check. I don't notice anything special about the thing in question. I don't notice anything special about the thing in question. Can now refuse. Can now refuse. We couldn't make the occasional window cleaner. We couldn't make the occasional window cleaner. Before we begin, let's review the agenda. Before we begin, let's review the agenda. What is your final destination? What is your final destination? My wife is a real estate agent. My wife is a real estate agent. You can never be a civil servant. You can never be a civil servant. Won't you get better every day? Won't you get better every day? Finally, finally. Backward compatibility. Backward compatibility. Your accent is very strong. Your accent is very strong. I need to charge my phone before going to bed. I need to charge my phone before going to bed. I'm weaker than John. I'm weaker than John. Does it protect after 4 weeks? Does it protect after 4 weeks? Measurement. Measurement. Should I go to school tomorrow? Should I go to school tomorrow? I'm sure you understand. I'm sure you understand. We're going to play football in the park this weekend. We're going to play football in the park this weekend. They were never implemented. They were never implemented. Is our sister a messenger? Is our sister a messenger? Will he become a foreman in 3 months? Will he become a foreman in 3 months? I can't escape. I can't escape. Normally you can. Normally you can. Did he occasionally produce? Did he occasionally produce? You're the host every week. You're the host every week. He couldn't pass the exam without studying. He couldn't pass the exam without studying. The rain is quiet. The rain is quiet. Were their children lawyers? Were their children lawyers? You prefer weekly. You prefer weekly. Shouldn't he lie often? Shouldn't he lie often? Your half-brother is the undertaker. Your half-brother is the undertaker. You must be a magician now. You must be a magician now. I'm going on a trip next year. I'm going on a trip next year. We will not be ambassadors right away. We will not be ambassadors right away. Am I never an illusionist? Am I never an illusionist? She always wears a red dress on special occasions. She always wears a red dress on special occasions. Didn't he protect 1 minute ago? Didn't he protect 1 minute ago? Will you go to school today? Will you go to school today? I would love to see your photos again. I would love to see your photos again. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath. Is he bad? Is he bad? They will not wage war. They will not wage war. Who will clean? Who will clean? Attractive. Attractive. His stepson cameraman. His stepson cameraman. I'm going to the office. I'm going to the office. I will be playing tennis tomorrow afternoon. I will be playing tennis tomorrow afternoon. He can run a marathon in under 4 hours. He can run a marathon in under 4 hours. There is a nice picnic area next to the lake. There is a nice picnic area next to the lake. Is our aunt the interviewer? Is our aunt the interviewer? Can't we stretch? Can't we stretch? I have too much self-confidence. I have too much self-confidence. I can feel that you are hiding something from me. I can feel that you are hiding something from me. We take a vacation once a year. We take a vacation once a year. He was watching a movie while eating popcorn. He was watching a movie while eating popcorn. Can't you ever bother? Can't you ever bother? Couldn't I have included 1 year ago? Couldn't I have included 1 year ago? The analysis shows that the company is profitable. The analysis shows that the company is profitable. Can complain. Can complain. We should do real estate at dusk. We should do real estate at dusk. I'm in the room with the plants. I'm in the room with the plants. Failed every year. Failed every year. I guess it will rain later. I guess it will rain later. At the end of the month, I will have paid off all my debts. At the end of the month, I will have paid off all my debts. We usually wouldn't stop. We usually wouldn't stop. Is he a taxi driver? Is he a taxi driver? We are electrician every year. We are electrician every year. Could tell. Could tell. His father was a librarian. His father was a librarian. Will it not produce? Will it not produce? Before we begin, let's make sure we have all the necessary resources. Before we begin, let's make sure we have all the necessary resources. I wish I knew what to do. I wish I knew what to do. Your brother-in-law was a window cleaner. Your brother-in-law was a window cleaner. Get bored. Get bored. The view from the top is beautiful. The view from the top is beautiful. In order for the teacher to calculate your final grade, they must be successful in your exams. In order for the teacher to calculate your final grade, they must be successful in your exams. Wouldn't I accept? Wouldn't I accept? Can't we spend? Can't we spend? Have you been to this country before? Have you been to this country before? Don't we solve it often? Don't we solve it often? Can't it be renewed? Can't it be renewed? Next year we will be married for 10 years. Next year we will be married for 10 years. Can I have your email address, please? Can I have your email address, please? Should we never commit clowns? Should we never commit clowns? Should you drink often? Should you drink often? Couldn't try soon. Couldn't try soon. The country's economy was heavily dependent on tourism. The country's economy was heavily dependent on tourism. Wouldn't you believe next year? Wouldn't you believe next year? Aren't you hurting now? Aren't you hurting now? The salesperson will be 10 years. The salesperson will be 10 years. Looking forward to a relaxing weekend. Looking forward to a relaxing weekend. I don't want to buy this car. I don't want to buy this car. We immediately became pipe layers. We immediately became pipe layers. Except for the vertical main banner, all other banner types are ready to use. Except for the vertical main banner, all other banner types are ready to use. How did you study? How did you study? We didn't know 10 years. We didn't know 10 years. I watch TV in the evenings. I watch TV in the evenings. He is riding a rabbit. He is riding a rabbit. Silver is also a precious metal. Silver is also a precious metal. I don't recommend yearly. I don't recommend yearly. Answered me 3 centuries later. Answered me 3 centuries later. In conclusion. In conclusion. Shouldn't I mix? Shouldn't I mix? How many countries have you visited? How many countries have you visited? Is his stepbrother a mediator? Is his stepbrother a mediator? Wasn't he looking? Wasn't he looking? They could notice. They could notice. There are no apples left in the basket. There are no apples left in the basket. Can't they do accounting every year? Can't they do accounting every year? I need to get some milk. I need to get some milk. Doesn't it sit after a night? Doesn't it sit after a night? Stubborn. Stubborn. Do you have a pool? Do you have a pool? I'm trying to be more patient. I'm trying to be more patient. Don't you appreciate? Don't you appreciate? I usually listen to music on the bus. I usually listen to music on the bus. I need to buy some bread. I need to buy some bread. I hope you get well soon. I hope you get well soon. Hi John, who can help us with John's request? Hi John, who can help us with John's request? They think I'm out for lunch. They think I'm out for lunch. She had a beautiful face. She had a beautiful face. Didn't watch it last year. Didn't watch it last year. It is the official language of the United Kingdom, United States, Canada, Australia and New Zealand. It is the official language of the United Kingdom, United States, Canada, Australia and New Zealand. Shouldn't it turn? Shouldn't it turn? Was your sister a rower? Was your sister a rower? Doctors will be operating all day tomorrow. Doctors will be operating all day tomorrow. Won't we listen? Won't we listen? How much is this? How much is this? I need to have my blood drawn. I need to have my blood drawn. I have to find a bus to the mall. I have to find a bus to the mall. Can't connect? Can't connect? What do you think about our company? What do you think about our company? Can you give me directions to the science building? Can you give me directions to the science building? We have to design it after 5 days. We have to design it after 5 days. She works as a teacher and she is a nurse. She works as a teacher and she is a nurse. Forward. Forward. He could not have been more polite during our conversation. He could not have been more polite during our conversation. I drink water when I'm thirsty. I drink water when I'm thirsty. Our half-brother was an astronomer. Our half-brother was an astronomer. Didn't pay. Didn't pay. Your wife was a diver. Your wife was a diver. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. We can play golf normally. We can play golf normally. They will be moving to a new house next year. They will be moving to a new house next year. Was her grandmother a songwriter? Was her grandmother a songwriter? I will be married in 10 years. I will be married in 10 years. Logical. Logical. Students are participating in a school activity. Students are participating in a school activity. I will taste something sweet. I will taste something sweet. We flew to Hawaii for our vacation. We flew to Hawaii for our vacation. Except for a few minor details, the project was completed. Except for a few minor details, the project was completed. May I have your luggage tag, please? May I have your luggage tag, please? The enemy was too busy and too big. The enemy was too busy and too big. Your half-sister was a businesswoman. Your half-sister was a businesswoman. He will be an architect in 2 nights. He will be an architect in 2 nights. Shouldn't it be borrowed? Shouldn't it be borrowed? I'm asking the prettiest girl in my class out. I'm asking the prettiest girl in my class out. Can you report? Can you report? Where do you need to go when you arrive at the airport? Where do you need to go when you arrive at the airport? We cannot be factory workers in the twilight. We cannot be factory workers in the twilight. In the evening he will be learning a new language. In the evening he will be learning a new language. Do you have any handicap? Do you have any handicap? Does what he says he will do. Does what he says he will do. We were hiking on a mountain road. We were hiking on a mountain road. Didn't they lose 2 afternoons? Didn't they lose 2 afternoons? Your brother-in-law was the speaker. Your brother-in-law was the speaker. Should he be a firefighter immediately? Should he be a firefighter immediately? Is it monthly limited? Is it monthly limited? Where will you do it? Where will you do it? It didn't build 1 hour ago. It didn't build 1 hour ago. Could you please keep the dog quiet? I'm trying to sleep. Could you please keep the dog quiet? I'm trying to sleep. Before we begin, let's make sure we have all the necessary resources. Before we begin, let's make sure we have all the necessary resources. I can't exercise. I can't exercise. I wouldn't teach occasionally. I wouldn't teach occasionally. Could he be a pathologist in the twilight? Could he be a pathologist in the twilight? His stepson referee. His stepson referee. He's going to paint the bedroom. He's going to paint the bedroom. Was the producer. Was the producer. Didn't you wake up at 2 a.m. before? Didn't you wake up at 2 a.m. before? He had been to the beach many times before, but he never got old. He had been to the beach many times before, but he never got old. Purpose is the key to success. Purpose is the key to success. I will also work. I will also work. Aren't you hurting now? Aren't you hurting now? How many languages did you speak last year? How many languages did you speak last year? He could have been promoted if he had more experience. He could have been promoted if he had more experience. Seeing blood always disgusts me. Seeing blood always disgusts me. Was he an astronomer 3 centuries ago? Was he an astronomer 3 centuries ago? Inconsistency. Inconsistency. May not be a monthly governor. May not be a monthly governor. Wasn't I a baker 5 centuries ago? Wasn't I a baker 5 centuries ago? Shouldn't he ever have to teach? Shouldn't he ever have to teach? They use public transport for transportation. They use public transport for transportation. His stepmothers were advertisers. His stepmothers were advertisers. Can you tell me where the prepackaged meals are? Can you tell me where the prepackaged meals are? The mayor then. The mayor then. We may be missing from time to time. We may be missing from time to time. They go to the amusement park on holidays. They go to the amusement park on holidays. You have not been organized before. You have not been organized before. He used to calculate often. He used to calculate often. I need to buy new clothes for the summer. I need to buy new clothes for the summer. I could see storm clouds gathering in the distance. I could see storm clouds gathering in the distance. Our stepfather was a teacher. Our stepfather was a teacher. Could not give weekly. Could not give weekly. I want to sleep with you. I want to sleep with you. Can he do gymnastics in the afternoon? Can he do gymnastics in the afternoon? Do you have a car for people? Do you have a car for people? My neighbor is a barber. My neighbor is a barber. Would you like to try our specialty coffee? Would you like to try our specialty coffee? We must respect the wishes of the deceased. We must respect the wishes of the deceased. I want to sell you this watch. I want to sell you this watch. Should not invest. Should not invest. Shouldn't he create it 3 centuries later? Shouldn't he create it 3 centuries later? It could be the weatherman 3 minutes ago. It could be the weatherman 3 minutes ago. I'm meeting my friends in town tomorrow. I'm meeting my friends in town tomorrow. You can't be a caregiver at night. You can't be a caregiver at night. I agree with your thinking. I agree with your thinking. They used computers to do their homework. They used computers to do their homework. 1 day later it would not match. 1 day later it would not match. Discharge. Discharge. I drink coffee in the morning. I drink coffee in the morning. Is her mother-in-law a reporter? Is her mother-in-law a reporter? Can you meet in 2 years? Can you meet in 2 years? At the end of the month, we will have finished the project. At the end of the month, we will have finished the project. Unfortunately, we don't have much time. Unfortunately, we don't have much time. May not be a stylist right away. May not be a stylist right away.